On November 5, 1975, a logging crew in the Apache-Sugreves National Forest in Arizona experienced something that would change their lives forever. What started as an ordinary workday turned into one of the most famous and controversial UFO abduction cases in history. This is the story of Travis Walton. Buckle up, because this one's a wild ride. Travis Walton was a 22-year-old logger working with a 6-man crew in the dense forest of Arizona. The crew was tight-knit, hard-working, and by all accounts, not the type to make up wild stories. They were finishing up a long day of clearing brush when something extraordinary happened. As they drove home in their truck, the crew noticed a strange glow through the trees. Curious, they drove closer, and that's when they saw it. A glowing disc-shaped object hovering in the air. Just 100 feet away, it was unlike anything they had ever seen. Now, Travis Walton was known for being a bit of a daredevil. While the rest of the crew stayed in the truck, Travis got out to get a closer look. What happened next would leave the crew in a state of panic, and Travis missing for 5 days. As Travis approached the UFO, a beam of light suddenly shot out and struck him, throwing him backwards like a rag doll. The crew was terrified. They drove off in a panic, but after a few minutes they realized they couldn't just leave Travis behind. They turned the truck around and went back, but Travis was gone. The UFO was gone. All that was left was an eerie silence. The crew reported the incident to the local sheriff, but their story was met with skepticism. Were they covering up a crime? Had they hallucinated? Or was something truly otherworldly at play? Meanwhile, Travis Walton was nowhere to be found. A massive search party was organized, but after days of combing the forest, there was no sign of him. The crew even took polygraph tests, and while some results were inconclusive, most suggested they were telling the truth. 5 days after his disappearance, Travis Walton reappeared. He was found wandering near a gas station, disoriented and terrified. He claimed to have been taken aboard the UFO, where he encountered strange beings and experienced things he could barely describe. Travis described the beings as short with large eyes and no hair. He said that they examined him on a table before he blacked out. When he woke up, he was back on Earth, but with no memory of how he got there or what had happened. Travis's story made headlines around the world, but not everyone believed him. Skeptics accused him of staging the whole thing for fame or money. Even some of his crewmates had doubts, though they never wavered in their beliefs that something had happened that night. To this day, Travis Walton's case remains one of the most compelling UFO abduction stories ever recorded. It's been the subject of books, documentaries, and even a Hollywood movie, Fire in the Sky. But the question remains, was it real, or was it all a hoax? Travis has always maintained that his story is true, and while skeptics continue to poke holes in his account, the fact remains, 7 men went into the woods that night, and only 6 came out. What really happened to Travis Walton, we may never know for sure. Whether you believe it or not, it's a reminder that there are still mysteries in the world that defy explanation. What do you think? Was Travis Walton abducted by aliens? Or is there another explanation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you believe Travis was abducted by aliens, please comment 3 alien heads. And if you don't believe Travis was abducted by aliens and this was all a hoax for fame and money, please comment 3 money bags. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories that will make you question everything you think you know. Until next time, stay curious. In the quiet town of Norrie Warren, Australia, on a seemingly ordinary night in August 1993, a young woman named Kelly Cahill experienced something that would change her life forever. What began as a drive home with her husband and children turned into one of the most compelling and terrifying UFO encounters ever documented. This is the story of Kelly Cahill's encounter. It was around 11 p.m. on August 8, 1993. Kelly Cahill and her husband and their 3 children were driving home after visiting friends. As they approached a quiet stretch of road near the Belgrave Hallam area, Kelly noticed something strange in the sky. A massive glowing object described as a huge disc-shaped craft with bright orange lights, hovering slightly above the ground. The family was stunned, but what happened next would defy explanation. As they drove closer, the craft suddenly descended, blocking the road. Kelly and her husband stopped the car, and that's when they saw the tall, shadowy figures with glowing red eyes standing near the craft. Kelly described these beings as humanoid, but not entirely human. They were dark, almost silhouettes, radiating an eerie, otherworldly presence. Overcome with fear, Kelly's husband quickly turned the car around and sped away. But the encounter didn't end there. After driving a short distance, Kelly realized something was wrong. She felt an overwhelming sense of dread and noticed a strange mark, a triangular bruise that hadn't been there before. She also began experiencing vivid flashbacks of being inside the craft, surrounded by the beings. Kelly claimed they communicated with her telepathically, though their message was unclear. She described the experience as both terrifying and transformative. Kelly's story didn't go unnoticed. Investigators and UFO researchers soon took an interest in her case. What made her account so compelling was the discovery of the physical evidence. At the site of the encounter, investigators found strange circular impressions in the ground, marks that seemed to match the size and shape of the craft Kelly described. Even more intriguing, another couple came forward, claiming they had seen the same craft and beings that night, lining up perfectly with Kelly's story. UFO researcher Bill Chalker, who investigated the case, described it as one of the most credible close encounter accounts he had ever encountered. The consistency of Kelly's story, the physical evidence, and the witnesses added weight to her claims. But despite the evidence, skeptics remain unconvinced, attributing the encounter to stress, fatigue, or even a vivid hallucination. For Kelly, the encounter left a lasting impact. She struggled with anxiety, nightmares, and a sense of isolation. Few people believed her, and the experience haunted her for years. Yet, she remained steadfast in her account, sharing her story in interviews and even writing a book titled Encounter. Kelly's courage in coming forward inspired others to share their own experience, sparking a broader conversation about the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The Kelly Cahill encounter remains one of the most fascinating and well-documented UFO cases in history. Whether you believe her story or not, it challenges us to question what lies beyond our understanding. Are we alone in this universe? Or are there other beings out there, watching, waiting, and occasionally making contact? Kelly Cahill's experience reminds us that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. What do you think happened that night? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories just like this. Till next time. The tragic case of Ashley Bocanegra highlights how a seemingly petty dispute can spiral into a devastating loss. This is the story of a young mother tricked into an ambush, brutally attacked, and ultimately lost her life, all while her assailants laughed and recorded the encounter. Ashley was a vibrant 30-year-old woman living in Beaufort, Georgia, with her 7-year-old son. Originally from New York City, Ashley moved to South in search for a better life for her small family. Known for her infectious smile and ability to light up any room, Ashley was loved deeply by her family and friends, who described her as a loyal and supportive friend. Working as a manager at Floor & Decor, Her life took a turn when she met Daniel Gonzalez, a co-worker with whom she formed a flirtatious relationship. Daniel and Ashley's flirtation did not go unnoticed. Daniel, who was engaged to 27-year-old Antonetta Stevens, shared a home with her, their 2 young sons, and his teenage sister, Janine Gonzalez. Despite both being in a committed relationship and engaged, Daniel and Ashley began a flirtatious relationship while working the night shift at their job. For a while, Daniel's double life remained a secret. However, on August 11th, 2022, Antonetta and Janine discovered incriminating messages between Daniel and Ashley on his phone. Furious, Antonetta and Janine devised a plan to confront Ashley. Using Daniel's phone while he slept, they pretended to be him and texted Ashley, inviting her to meet him at his apartment. The messages were written with care to avoid suspicion, luring Ashley into what she thought was an intimate meeting. Ashley, unaware of the trap, complied without hesitation. She had no idea that Antonetta and Janine were waiting, fueled by jealousy and anger, determined to confront her. As Ashley arrived at the apartment complex, Antonetta and Janine confronted her. The confrontation quickly escalated into a violent attack. While Antonetta physically assaulted Ashley, Janine recorded the entire encounter on her phone. In the disturbing footage, Antonetta's fury is evident. She accused Ashley of ruining her family, shouts vulgar threats, and even taunts her about Daniel. The video also shows Ashley trying to defend herself as Antonetta grabs her hair and strikes her repeatedly. Throughout the assault, Janine can be heard laughing and egging on her sister-in-law. They not only attacked Ashley, but also stole her phone during the altercation, claiming it was evidence to show Ashley's fiancé. The fight left Ashley severely injured. Ashley's front door camera caught her coming home after the attack. You can see in the video she is staggering and looks to be severely hurt. Her fiancé arrived home 17 minutes later and also called the police when he discovered the state Ashley was in. She was rushed to the hospital where her condition quickly deteriorated. While being transferred to another hospital for emergency surgery, Ashley tragically passed away. Her autopsy revealed blunt force trauma to the head, causing severe brain damage and generalized trauma throughout her body. When police questioned Antonetta and Janine, they attempted to shift blame, claiming Ashley had been the aggressor. Their inconsistent statement, however, failed to align with the evidence. Antonetta and Janine were arrested and charged with aggravated battery, robbery, and a felony murder. Despite their initial denials, both women were convicted of voluntary manslaughter and robbery by force. Janine's demeanor during police questioning shocked many. She appeared to treat the situation lightly, giggling and recounting the events in a disturbingly casual manner. When informed of Ashley's death, Daniel appeared shocked and distraught. He admitted to having an emotional relationship with Ashley, but denied any involvement. Police concluded that Daniel had been asleep during the altercation and was not complicit in the setup. Both Antonetta and Janine received 20-year prison sentences. While some considered this justice, others felt the punishment wasn't enough, given the premeditated nature of the ambush and the loss of Ashley's life. The ripple effects of Ashley's death have been profound. Her 7-year-old son has been left without a mother, and her family continues to grapple with the loss of a vibrant and loving individual. If you want more content like this, subscribe to our channel and like this video. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to receive the latest video right when it comes out. In November 2024, the body of 68-year-old Monique Gilbertson was discovered in a freezer at her Las Vegas home during a welfare check. Her former roommate, Danielle Rausch, 37, was arrested and charged with her murder. Gilbertson and Rausch met at a Home Depot, where she offered him accommodation in exchange for assistance around her house. Over time, their relationship deteriorated due to disputes over cleanliness and suspicion of theft, leading Gilbertson to evict Rausch around October 22, 2024. On November 6th, concerned individuals requested a welfare check after not hearing from Gilbertson for 2 weeks.
When was the last time you heard or seen her?
So the last time she called the office was on the 22nd of October. We've knocked on her door. Her dogs are going insane, which they wouldn't do if she was okay.
Police entered her home and found Rausch inside. During their search, they discovered Gilbertson's body in a freezer.
Jesus!
I'm so sorry. I was like, I just got a shower. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, we've been knocking.
Well, I rent this place.
What's your name?
My name's Jaslyn.
Where's Monique at?
Monique is I'm house sitting right now. She left town for a while.
Where is she? No, she didn't. Where is she?
No, she really did. I swear.
Okay, where is she?
I mean,
Her car's here.
I know her car's here. She has me house sitting. I have I got my renters.
You're not supposed to be here. Come outside.
Huh?
Come outside.
Okay, well, let me go let my wife know what's going on. You know what I mean? And then just give me a minute. But I still don't see what the problem is. But yeah, just give me a minute, okay?
Yeah, the problem is that you're super suspicious being here, and we have no idea where Monique is. That's the problem. The freezer?
Yep.
Oh. You got a whiff. There's something in there. So there's quite a bit. So first of all, she talks to the front office like 3 times a day. They haven't heard from her since the 22nd. She never leaves without her dog, who's sitting right here. Nobody else lives here. Her vehicle's sitting here. We hop the wall to look at the vehicle. The vehicle had a male's hat and some rope in it. And so just a couple.
Dude.
If there's a body in here, dude.
I swear to God.
Is this thing even on?
Huh?
Yeah, it's on. It's running.
According to the report, police received conflicting stories from Rausch regarding where Gilbertson was found dead in the home. In one instance, Rausch told police drugs were on the table and Gilbertson's stiff body was near the table with her head back. Then moments later, contradicted the original claim and said that Gilbert was found in a wooden chair in a bird room. Rausch told police they did not call 911 immediately because they did not know what to do. According to the arrest report, police also addressed Gilbertson's missing phone. Rausch hesitantly said a friend stole the phone and sold it. Official documents revealed the suspect's wife, Gina Lopez Rausch, initially told police she was unaware of the Gilbertson's body being placed in the freezer. Days later, in another interview with police, Lopez admitted to helping Rausch purchase laced coke with fentanyl. Prosecutors alleged that Rausch force-fed Gilbertson a lethal dose of fentanyl, resulting in her death. An autopsy revealed that she had approximately 400 nanograms of fentanyl per milliliter in her system, which is 200 times the lethal dose. Rausch has pleaded not guilty to the charges of second-degree murder and possession of a controlled substance. He remains in custody at the Clark County Detention Center. If you liked this video and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and like. Also, hit the bell notification so you won't miss out on a new video when it drops.
Vanessa Guillen was a 20-year-old U.S. Army soldier stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, when she mysteriously disappeared on April 22, 2020. Her case exposed serious issues of abuse, harassment, and cover-ups within the military, sparking national outrage and legislative change. If you want more content just like this, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell notification to receive our latest videos when they come out. Vanessa Guillen was a bright, hard-working soldier of Mexican-American descent. She dreamed of serving her country and had ambitions of advancing in the military. However, before her disappearance, she confided in her family that she was being sexually harassed at Fort Hood, but was afraid to report it. Vanessa was last seen around noon on April 22, 2020, in the parking lot of her squadron's headquarters at Fort Hood. Her family grew concerned when she failed to respond to calls and texts. After reporting her missing, they struggled to get clear answers from the military. Investigators who searched her phone found that the last person she texted was Specialist Aaron Robinson. A witness told investigators that Vanessa left the arms room where she had been working and went to the arms room controlled by Aaron to confirm serial numbers for weapons and equipment. Aaron later said he read her the serial numbers and gave her paperwork. He said she then left and did not know where she was heading. Two witnesses later said that on the same day they saw Aaron coming out of the arms room pulling a large tote box with wheels that appeared very heavy in weight, according to the witnesses. Surveillance footage at Fort Hood was key in the case. It confirmed that Vanessa entered the armory but never left, contradicting Aaron's stories of events. On June 30th, 2020, Army investigators were called in when private contractors discovered partial human remains along the Leon River in Belton. The area had previously been searched by Texas Rangers, detectives, and cadaver dogs on June 20th after a bird mound was discovered nearby. Investigators theorized that the remains, previously buried under concrete, had been dug up by wildlife. Later that evening, authorities re-interviewed Cecily Ann Aguilar. Cecily was reported to be the girlfriend of Aaron Robinson. Cecily told police that Aaron had confessed to her that he had killed a female soldier at Fort Hood. According to the criminal complaint filed, Cecily allegedly helped Aaron dismember and dispose of Vanessa's body on April 22, 2020, after Robinson told her he had bludgeoned the soldier to death with the hammer inside the armory. When police moved in to arrest Aaron Robinson, he fled and fatally shot himself before being captured. Cecily Aguilar was arrested and later pleaded guilty to helping cover up the murder. She is currently serving time in prison. On May 24, 2022, Texas investigators released a report stating that Cecily later explained why Matt killed Vanessa, saying Vanessa saw Matt's cell phone lock screen, which contained a picture of Cecily. Matt told her he was worried about getting in trouble for violating the Army's fraternization rules, since Cecily was still married to another soldier. So Matt hit Vanessa in the head with a hammer. Vanessa's family fought tirelessly for justice. demanding reform in the military. Their efforts led to the I Am Vanessa Guillen Act, which reformed how the military handles sexual harassment and assault cases. The law was signed into effect in 2021, ensuring better protections for service members. Vanessa's case ignited a movement, with thousands of service members sharing their own experiences of harassment, abuse, and fear of speaking out in the military. Her story remains a powerful reminder of the need for accountability, justice, and change within the U.S. Armed Forces.
On February 22, 2024, 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley was brutally murdered while jogging on the University of Georgia campus in Athens, Laken. A student and former UGA undergraduate, was known for her dedication to her studies and her caring nature. If you enjoy this content and want to see more, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell notification to receive our latest video right when it comes out. On that morning, Laken embarked on her routine run around 9 a.m. During her jog, she was attacked by 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra, a Venezuelan national who had entered the United States illegally in 2022. Ibarra attempted to sexually assault Laken, but she fiercely resisted. Prosecutors had stated that Laken had fought for her life during the attack. Tragically, Ibarra overpowered her, causing fatal injuries due to blunt force trauma and asphyxiation. During her attack, Riley's phone called 911 at 9:11 a.m.
Clark County 911. Hello, this is Clark County 911. Hello, Clark County 911. Can anyone hear me? Clark County 911.
Yo Tango.
Laken's roommates reported her missing when she failed to return from her run. University of Georgia police discovered her body in a wooded area near Lake Herrick on campus. The investigation led authorities to Ibarra after surveillance footage and physical evidence, including his DNA under Laken's fingernails and his fingerprints on her phone, connected him to the crime. Ibarra was arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including malice murder and felony murder. In November 2024, Ibarra stood trial for Lakin's murder. The prosecution presented compelling evidence of Lakin's struggle and Ibarra's intent. Ibarra waived his right to a jury trial, opting for a bench trial. On November 20th, 2024, Judge H. Patrick Haggard found Ibarra guilty on all charges and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Lakin's tragic death sparked national debates on immigration policies, as Ibarra had prior arrests and was released into the U.S. After crossing the border illegally, in response, the U.S. Senate passed the Laken-Riley Act, named in her honor, to allow the detention of illegal immigrants involved in theft-related crimes. The act received bipartisan support and was part of a broader initiative to strengthen the border security. One of the saddest parts of this case is the body cam footage of Laken's family receiving the news she had been murdered.
Okay, let's step up here. Come on, let's go. Come over here, all right? It's not good. I don't want to tell you yes or no because I don't have names. I don't know who anybody is. But I do know that this is a pretty serious incident.
Laken is remembered for her compassion, dedication, and profound impact she had on those who knew her. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of safety and justice. Kanika Jenkins was a 19-year-old woman from Chicago, Illinois, whose mysterious death in 2017 captured national attention and sparked widespread speculation and calls for justice. If you want more content like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can receive the latest video when it comes out. Born on May 27, 1998, Kanika Jenkins was described by family and friends as a caring, fun-loving young woman with aspirations for a bright future. She grew up in Chicago's West Side and was known for her close relationship with her mother, Teresa Martin. On the evening of September 8, 2017, Kanika attended a hotel party with friends at the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. The gathering held at the hotel room was reportedly a celebration that included drinking and socializing. Videos from the party, some of which were live streamed on social media, later played a significant role in public scrutiny of the case. By the early hours of September 9th, Kanika was reported missing by her friends. They claimed she had disappeared after leaving the room to receive her belongings. Around 4 a.m., her friends called her mother, Teresa Martin, informing her that they couldn't find Kanika. Teresa Martin arrived at the hotel and pleaded with staff to search for her. However, hotel employees initially stated that they couldn't access surveillance footage without the proper authority. Hours later, after a formal missing persons report was filed, the police hotel staff began their search. On September 10th, approximately 24 hours after Kanika's disappearance, her body was found in a walk-in freezer in a vacant area of the hotel's lower level. She was discovered lying face down, fully clothed, but one shoe removed. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office conducted an autopsy and ruled her death to be an accident caused by hypothermia. With alcohol intoxication and sapirimi, a medication used to treat migraines, listed as contributing factors. The combination of alcohol and medication was believed to have impaired her coordination and judgment, leading her to inadvertently enter the freezer. Surveillance footage released by police showed Kanika wandering alone through the hotel hallways in a disoriented state. In the video, she appeared to stagger and stumble, seemingly trying to find her way. However, there was no cameras inside the freezer to capture her final moments. Kanika's death quickly went viral on social media, with many questioning the official narrative. People speculated about possible foul play, alleging that the hotel staff, party attendees, or even the friends might have been involved. Others pointed to the inconsistencies in the timeline, perceived oddities in the surveillance footage, and the hotel's initial reluctance to cooperate. Protests were held outside of the Crown Plaza Hotel, with demonstrators demanding justice and a more thorough investigation. Kanika's mother, Teresa Martin, expressed doubts about the circumstances of her daughter's death and criticized the investigation as being incomplete. Kanika Jenkins' case remains a mystery. While law enforcement concluded that her death was accidental, many believe unanswered questions linger. Kanika's story continues to resonate, especially among communities advocating for justice for young women of color whose deaths are often overlooked or dismissed.
Skylar Annette Neese was a 16-year-old girl who disappeared in Star City, West Virginia around midnight on July 6, 2012. Her body was found in January 2013 across the nearby state line in Wayne Township, Pennsylvania. Skylar was murdered by two of her high school best friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf. In December 2012, Rachel confessed to authorities that she and Sheila planned and carried out Skylar's murder. Niece's disappearance and murder led to new West Virginia legislation that made changes to the Amber Alert missing child alert system. If you guys enjoy this video, give it a like and subscribe to the page so you can get more content like this. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll get the latest video when they come out. On July 5th, 2012, Skylar Neese returned to her family's apartment in Star City, West Virginia after working a shift at Wendy's. Her apartment complex's surveillance video shows Neese left the apartment through her bedroom window at 12:30 a.m. on July 6 and got into a sedan with her two best friends, Sheila and Rachel. Skylar's father said her window was left open and that she planned on coming home later that morning. When she didn't return home as planned, her father grew concerned and contacted authorities. Neese was initially considered a runaway by law enforcement, and an Amber Alert was not issued for her, as Skylar had to be gone a minimum of 48 hours before the police could do anything. Skylar's parents posted flyers about their missing daughter in the Star City region. Police determined that the unknown sedan in which Skylar was last seen belonged to Sheila. The police had her brought in for questioning, and Sheila admitted to picking up Skylar, but stated that she had dropped her off at home an hour later. The FBI and the West Virginia State Police joined the search for Skylar on September 10, 2012. They immediately began interviewing her school friends, but no significant evidence came out from these interviews. The break in the case came on January 3, 2013, about 6 months after Skylar's disappearance. Rachel finally admitted to police that Sheila and her had been the ones who murdered Skylar. The reason Rachel gave for the murder was they didn't like Skylar and didn't want to be friends with her anymore. David Neese stated that these two girls were among his daughter's best friends, and that Sheila had even helped the family by distributing missing persons flyers. After her confession, Rachel led investigators to Skylar's body. On January 16, 2013, U.S. Attorney William J. Einfield issued a press release. He announced that Skylar's body was found just over the state line in Wayne Township, Pennsylvania. Skylar's body was found less than 30 miles away from her home. On May 1, 2013, Rachel pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. According to the court transcript, Rachel said that she and Sheila picked up Skylar in Rachel's car. The girls drove to a wooded area in Pennsylvania. They got out of the car and began talking. The two girls had a planned signal that would let each other know when they were supposed to start stabbing Skylar. As the signal was given, Rachel and Sheila stabbed Skylar to death. The teens attempted to bury Skylar's body, but were unable to do so, so they instead covered the body with branches. The court transcript indicates that other students overheard conversations between Rachel and Sheila about the murder plot, but failed to report it, mistakenly believing that the girls were joking. According to Rachel's plea agreement, she pleaded guilty to murder in the second degree. In the plea agreement, the state of West Virginia recommended a sentence of 20 years incarceration. Rachel Schoaf expressed remorse and apologized to the Neeses, her own family, and God during her sentencing. Rachel further expressed remorse in her May 2023 parole hearing and finally gave a motive for the crime, which was that she and Rachel had been in a romantic relationship, and this caused tension between the couple and Skylar. She was denied parole and remains incarcerated to this day. Rachel's family has also issued a public apology for her actions through their lawyer. On September 4th, 2013, West Virginia prosecutors publicly identified Sheila as the second alleged perpetrator of the murder of Skylar and announced that she would be tried as an adult. Sheila was indicted by a grand jury on September 6, 2013, for 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of first-degree murder, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. She pleaded not guilty. The date of the trial was originally set for January 28, 2014. Facing the prospect of additional charges from Pennsylvania authorities because they had killed Skylar across state lines, Sheila accepted a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and expressed no remorse for her actions. She was sentenced to life in prison. Although she was sentenced as an adult, West Virginia law requires that a juvenile offender have a possibility of parole on a whole life sentence, with Sheila eligible for parole after 15 years. With the plea deal, Pennsylvania authorities were not allowed to file charges. On February 26, 2014, she received a sentence of 30 years in prison, with eligibility for parole after 10 years. As of September 2023, Sheila remains in custody at the Lakin Correctional Center in West Virginia. An Amber Alert was not issued in Skylar Neese's disappearance because the circumstances did not meet all 4 criteria for an alert to be issued. A waiting period of 48 hours had to elapse before a teenager could be considered missing. A West Virginia state legislator from the Neese family home introduced a bill called Skylar's Law to modify West Virginia's Amber Alert plan to issue immediate public announcements when any child is reported missing and in danger, regardless of whether the child is believed to have been kidnapped. On March 27, 2013, the West Virginia House of Delegates approved Skylar's Law with a 98-0 vote. West Virginia Governor Earl Ray Tomlin signed the legislation into law in May 2013. Skylar's story is a heartbreaking tale of betrayal and a grim reminder of the hidden darkness that can exist in seemingly close relationships.